So in this video, I'm going to try to make a simple segmented bowl. I don't know if I should call any segmented bowl simple, but it is fairly simple if you've never done one before. This is actually just like the bowl I first did, the very first segmented bowl I ever made. It's just 6 segments. I'm going to make it with zebra wood and walnut. I've never used zebra wood before, so I'm really interested to see how it comes out. But it's going to have 3 rings, or 3 layers actually. I've got a bottom that I've already made up. And I just took walnut and cut 45s, so it's only a 4-piece bottom. And this is what I've been doing on them all. And they seem to come out all right. The second ring is going to be the zebra wood with walnut strips in between each segment. Then the top ring is just going to be another 6-piece ring with just walnut. It'll come out really cool. They look pretty neat. Like I said, they're kind of simple, but if you've never done a segmented bowl, this is a really good one to do first off. I am going to use my wedgie sled. I've got it all set up for 6 segments. I've used this wedge to set my fences up. I'll get it cut in the segments. So beforehand, I went ahead and cut some walnut strips. These are 1/4 inch wide. They're a little bit longer than that side of that segment. So these are going to go in between each segment. I think the grain in this zebra wood is going to look pretty cool with the walnut. So got those ready to glue up. Now I need to prep the base. I've already got my center marked here, so I'm just going to jam it between the tailstock and the chuck, turn my tenon, then I can flip it around and hold it by that tenon, and then glue on the subsequent rings. So I got the base ready. I put a circle on it because that's close to the inside diameter of what that 6-segment ring is going to be. so then it'll just help a little bit to center it on there when I go to glue it. But I'll get that glued up and get it flat, and I'll be back. So I got the board ready for the top ring on that bowl. But I want to talk a little bit about where I got my measurements. So on the iPhone, there's a really good app, and it's from turnedwood.com. And Kevin Neely developed the app for Apple, or for the iPad and the iPhone. And it's a really great app. You punch in your ring, your type of miter, outside diameter that you're looking for, your inside diameter that you're looking for, push the calculate button, and it'll come up with, you know, your angle, it'll come up with your outside segment length, your inside segment length, and it'll even give you like a little picture of what the segment is. If you have an Android, I used to have an Android before I got this iPhone, and there's a great app, it's the segment calculator. I can't remember the gentleman's name that made it, but if you look on that Play Store, you'll find it. So that's how I got my measurement. This segment needs to be, let's see, 5.485 inches long. So it's roughly going to be about 5.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut those. So you probably noticed I had to do a little bit of a different cut for that number 6 piece. The calculator told me that I needed a board length of 26.072, and I cut roughly 27-inch long piece, and didn't give me anything to hold on to. So if you use this app, remember to add about 4 or 5 inches. I may have to glue this ring in 2 pieces, but that's all right. I can do that. I've got the middle ring glued. I'll get this one glued, and I'll be back tomorrow. So it's tomorrow, and I've got the rings out of the clamps. Got them all ready to sand them. I real quick just made this disc up. Fits in my 4-jaw chuck. It's just a piece of MDF with a 10-inch disc stuck to it. I don't know what I'm ever going to do if I have to replace this disc, but hopefully it'll last a long time. But I'll go turn on some noise. I want to put the dust collector on and get one side of each of these rings sanded up. So I got both of these sanded now. I sanded both sides of this one so I'll glue the base onto it, and then I'll glue the top ring on, and I'll just glue all of them up at once. So I'm going to mark them up, make sure I know where they need to go, and then I'll get them glued up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a center at the top of this wedge, and then I'm going to find the center on the bottom. And when I find that center, I'm going to line that up with the glue line, or the seam on that top ring. Now actually this serves 2 purposes, because if you put every glue seam on every one of those lines and you line it up right, you're going to be centered on the 2 rings. So works pretty good. So that's where my top ring is going to go under relation to my bottom ring. Now this, I put a circle on it when it was on the lathe. I'm just going to kind of see if I can center it on that circle somehow. I should be able to do that right about there. Well, it's very close. I think it's pretty good. I think it stopped moving. So I'm going to let it sit. I'll let it dry overnight. I'll come back to it tomorrow and we'll start turning. So it's been a couple days actually. This is all dried up and ready to be shaped. So we'll start to see what it's going to look like. So this is the first coat of wipe-on poly that'll be going on. I did wonder about using wood wax. I've got some Triple E and Ultra Shine, but I decided to go with wipe-on poly. One of the reasons is my wife is going to use this as a gift, and she prefers the poly, so I'll put the poly on it. It's sanded to 600 grit, and then I used a sanding sealer on that, and then did buff it back up with some fine sandpaper again after that, some 600 grit. So I've got this chucked into my new Longworth chuck. Got this for Father's Day. This is the first time I've ever used it, so we'll see how it's going to work. But got it reversed. I'll start cleaning up this bottom and get this thing finished up. A little bit of sanding sealer to seal it up, kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. I like it. So this is the bowl all completed. I think it turned out pretty good. Like I said, it's kind of on the simple end for a segmented project, but still got some level of difficulty to it. Didn't take me long to shape this and finish it off once it was cut and glued and sanded and all glued together in its stack. It really finished up pretty quick. So I'll put some pictures up at the end. Once again, thank you for watching.